I'm Dr. Tanu Jain. I cracked civil services examination in 2014, currently posted as a government servant, and also I am an educator trying to help civil services aspirant like once I was. So coming to the present video, you and me in this video will try to enhance your marks of essays. We know that essay play a very crucial role in getting one selected, because most of the students think that essay they can write just without any much preparation. But I would like to clarify this. Essay needs as much preparation as much marks essay holds. It is an examination and you are concerned with marks, and when the paper of essay is of 250 marks, you must give it that much importance as well as time, effort that must be given to essay paper. So scoring good marks in essay is an art or a trick? I would say it is both. It is both an art as well as it is a trick. Art because it depends how you write, how beautifully you express yourself, how beautifully you can present your facts, your arguments, and how readable your essay is. This is all a work of art. But it is also a trick because you can learn this art by using some well-established ways, well-established tricks. Thus, even if you are not having the skill of very flowery language and very intricately you cannot weave a essay, yet you can score good by giving the deception of that. So it is like learning an art of deception. So because you need marks, and for marks we need to have both art and trick. Choosing a topic. One of the very important thing in essay is to choose right topic. Many times students choose a topic which is not in sync with their own personality. ऐसे ही चूज कर लिया just randomly कि ये टॉपिक हमें अच्छा लगता है. आई एम वेरी पैशनेट अबाउट टॉपिक ऑफ एनवायरमेंट, तो इसीलिए आई विल राइट अबाउट एनवायरमेंट. बट when it is a examination, you don't go by your emotions and instinct. You have to go by your rationality. Which topic is more in sync with your personality? In which topic you can express better? In which topic you have more points? In which topic you can build in relevant examples, you can give proper facts. So all these things are relevant to your choosing a topic. And another thing is that it takes time to choose. Whenever you are practicing essays in your mocks, always choose between 3 to 4 options, because it helps you identify how much time do you take in choosing an essay and how efficient you are in choosing the right essay for you. Time. For choosing topic, you must see how much information you have regarding that subject, that topic. Do you have some examples? Do you have some facts? Can you be expressive in it? So have some information, some idea about your own strengths and weakness regarding few topics, and then choose a topic. Brainstorming. This is the second step. After you have chosen a topic, you must brainstorm. Brainstorming is like putting all ideas in one basket and then rearranging them. So if the topic is about media, then consider yourself as just a basket. So all the ideas, whatever you get, good, bad, just keep writing. So what I do in the rough sheet at the back of my paper, I put in all the ideas that I get. Any example, any incident, any current event, whatever, I keep writing. So in this way you are not restricted. You come with all sorts of ideas. So this gives diversity to your essay. So when you have a diverse viewpoint in your essay, that shows the depth of your knowledge, not just that shows the not just the depth, but you know, the broad perspective that you have in knowledge. So like all these things that I have brainstormed, then make a flow chart of it. Like, I want to put this point first, second should be this, third should be this, fourth should be this. So in this way you can arrange it, and it will become something like this. This first point this, second point this, third point this, fourth point this, and each point leading to another. So when the students come to me and they point out that ma'am, we do not get flow in my answers, or I do not get flow in my essay. So flow, we generally people don't get flow because they try to put information haphazardly. Rather, they should make it as a flow chart. So if you have a flow chart, you know, this is paragraph 1, this is paragraph 2. So each paragraph is leading to the other. That is important. So brainstorming is, you know, putting all the information at one place. Then second part of brainstorming is rearranging. So rearranging part is very important, and try to put it in a flowchart format. Flowchart format. This is the flowchart. Coming to the first introduction, catch the attention of the examiner. This technique is also known as hooking. So whenever your copy comes in front of examiner, he or she will read it, will depend how your introduction is. If your introduction is very interesting, in line with the topic, there are maximum chances that the examiner will read your essay. But if it is very plain and it's very boring kind of an introduction, or not in sync with the topic of your essay, then you lose marks, you lose interest of examiner, and you are given some moderate marks, and you know, your essay, the you know, you don't get the marks that you you know, you should get. So it is important to have attention of the examiner. You can deal with introduction by various ways. First way is a story. If you can find, if you are a good storyteller, then you can start your essay with some good story. Your story could be very interesting one. You can use story from epics like Ramayana, Mahabharata, Puranas. You can use a story of Indian independence, some extract of it. You can build a hypothetical story, but don't keep names like Sonu, Monu. So no, when you write, there were two kids, Sonu and Monu, and when you start your story like that, it looks a little naive. So try to have names which have some deeper meaning. Maybe, well, this is one of very personal suggestions. So you can have a hypothetical story. You can also get a story inspired from a film or movie. You can start your introduction by some current affair event that has happened recently. It puts your essay in context. So if the essay topic is about media, then you can start about the recent paid news issue that was in current affairs. You can even start with the accusations on various media houses. So you can use some current affair or some current news to start with. Third is providing the basic information or explaining your topic a little more deeply. If you are not a very good storyteller and you don't have any knowledge about current affairs, then you can start with this technique. In it, you simply state what the topic is, what do you understand by this topic? So it is generally the elaboration of your essay topic. There are 2 and 3 things that are very important in introduction. First, with your introduction, examiner must understand that you have understood the topic of your essay. You must not keep examiner quizzing. ये कौन सा टॉपिक है, कहाँ से स्टार्ट हो रहा है, कहना क्या चाहते हैं. So if these kind of questions come in the examiner's mind, then you tend to lose marks. So it is better that you make it clear with your introduction that you have understood the topic, you know the crux of the topic. So whether you are starting with the story, or whether you are starting with the current event, or whether you are starting simply by stating and elaborating upon the essay topic, your crux of the you must touch the crux of the essay. Secondly, introduction must clarify your stand. So your stand must be clear in essay, in your introduction. So essay is always like a thesis. So you make an assertion. Firstly, introduction is like an assertion like मैं ये बताऊंगा अपने essay के अंदर. Then in body you tell all those things that you have promised, and then in conclusion you conclude that on the basis of all the arguments that I have given in my body, this is the matter of fact. So this way your essay becomes concise, become consistent, as well as very effective. Types of introduction we have seen: story, current affairs, basic elaboration. Another type that few people use is futuristic. Futuristic means that you if an essay is on environment, then you start by skipping a lot of time. Like you say, in 2050 a girl enters the room and automatic lights are on, or something like that, or artificial intelligence is taking over the world. So you can skip the time, and you can actually make a story out of it, a sort of a situation out of it, not exactly the story, but a situation out of it. So even these type of startings are good because they shock the examiner, and examiner tend to read these because they find it interesting. Body. In body there are 3-4 things that we must take care of. Firstly, content. So all your content must come in your body. Second is presentation. Presentation should be such that it becomes very easy for examiner to read and give you marks. Third, flow. All your information should be articulated in a manner that one point leads to the other. It should not be such that every point is haphazard and you're not able to make out what to read, what not to read. All these things make your essay a little unorganized. So you must organize your body. An organized body is very easy to read. Examiner instantaneously know यहाँ पे ये point लिखा है, यहाँ पे ये point लिखा है. So the examiner checks like this and gives very good marks. But if examiner has to read and then point out यहाँ पे mistake है, अरे यार ये point तो यहाँ पे बता दिया था. So when these kind of things happen, your marks naturally decrease. So in body you must divide your body in numerous paragraphs. Each paragraph must cater to a particular theme or topic. Don't try to artificially build in a flow in your body. Artificially I mean I've seen copies where a student try to put some word of next paragraph into first paragraph, so that it appears that there is flow. But this actually does, this actually disrupts the examiner, because suddenly an examiner thinks ये कहाँ से आ गया, अचानक इकोनॉमी की बात हो रही थी, ये टू सी ऑन द पॉलिटिकल फ्रंट कहाँ से आ गया. मतलब व्हेन यू हैव टू राइट अबाउट पॉलिटिकल फ्रंट, write it in another paragraph. Flow, we have already talked about flow, that there are various techniques we can master by practice to increase our flow. Firstly, during brainstorming, use flow chart. So when you have already sequenced your numerous points, you have already sequenced your numerous arguments, examples according to the points that you are going to make. So once you have arranged it, the flow is very natural to come. It will come naturally. I'm very sure it will come naturally. Secondly, you can try to link various ideas. To give you an example, so in last year's paper, an essay was asked, social media is inherently a selfish medium. So this was asked last year in 2017 essay mains examination. So if you have to build flow in this particular topic, then you can divide your essay according to various themes, like social media at national level, social media at local level, social media at the level of individual, and before that maybe international. So once you divide your essay according to themes, so after international, an expectancy develops in the mind of examination. Now what is the national impact, what is the local impact, what is the impact on individual's life? So in this way a flow comes in your essay. You can go temporally in time, like explaining the past first, then coming to the present, and even ending it on futuristic note. So you can use spatial techniques, you can spread your essay spatially, or you can use temporal. You can divide your essay according to the timeline, and if you if you are expert enough, then you may use both. You can use both and bring out a very good correlation between various themes. Diagrams. Many students ask that whether we can make a diagram in an essay or whether we should use flowcharts. I would say if necessary, then you must use. But do not try to fit in unnecessary diagrams. Like you don't make diagrams of such kind that you make a book, while addressing an essay of education. But yes, if you are discussing about the declining quality of education in India, then you may make a graph like this, or you can make a graph like this, showing that how according to Acer report, the reading of student is declining, or the quality of education is declining, like this. You can even make a pie chart if you want, but you don't make diagrams like making a man who is in intention. So your diagram, your flow chart must look formal. Firstly, it must look mature, and thirdly, it must convey some information, because this is not an exam where your art is being appreciated, but your content, your articulation, and your presentation is appreciated. So the kind of flowcharts or diagrams you make matter. Examples. It is important that you put in maximum examples, but don't overdo it. Whenever you give an example, your essay becomes more interesting, it becomes more readable, and examiner is better able to relate his or herself with the essay. So you must use relevant examples. You can bring examples from your from your own life, from the lives of great people. You can take examples from newspapers, books you have read. You can have reference of some movies. So you can take examples from anywhere. So examples are very important. Like if we see the last year's paper, fulfillment of new women in India is a myth. So when we are talking about fulfillment of new women in India is a myth, then you have to explain this essay. You need to give examples that how women are often have to deal with double whammy, like they have to be the homemaker along with work at the office. So you can explain it better with an example, that how Mr. Iyer and Mrs. Iyer both work, and yet when they come back home, Mr. Iyer goes to his watching his matches, his newspaper, while Mrs. Iyer instantaneously and instinctively goes to kitchen and prepare dinner. So such kind of an example actually directly hits the point, directly hits the topic. So you can use such examples. Conclusion of an essay is very important. Most of the students end up abruptly ending their essays. Don't abruptly end your essays. It is important to develop an expectancy in the mind of examiner that this essay is going to end. So it is like you have asserted yourself in introduction, then you have given various points in body you have written various points, then you develop expectancy of conclusion in this paragraph, and then you conclude, because conclusion is where after conclusion you get marks. So conclusion must be concrete, it must be positive, it must be visionary. So this conclusion must show that you have a vision, you are not a hasty person, you are a planner, you have plan. So if a student is not able to plan an essay, how he or she will be able to plan this schemes for this country? So you must time your essay, that conclusion 15 minutes for conclusion, 10 minutes for intro, and all the rest time for body. So your conclusion must be concrete, like it must have real substance in it. You can end it with a quote. There are various ways to end it, with a quote, with some vision. You can end it with a call like for environment we can end it like every one of us must act. So today I pledge that I will act, will you? So this is a call for everybody, so it brings an impact to your essay. So you can end it variously. And conclusion must be gradual. You must gradually develop your conclusion. So just like mathematics, when you in mathematical equation you have various steps, but the conclusion is RHS is equal to LHS. So similarly, you have given various arguments for your essay, but the end should be what you want to state, the thing that you have already asserted in introduction. Many people say there is no difference between introduction and conclusion. Many teachers say, even the literary view is that there is not much difference content wise in introduction and essay, but the tone is different. So when I am saying that India is a diverse country where everyone is respected and valued for. So if this is my introduction, I stated that this is what I'll give arguments about in my essay, in my body, and at the end you say, therefore, we come to the conclusion that India is a diverse country where everyone is respected and everyone is valued. Therefore, it is it is a pot where everything becomes alive, maintain their individual quality, yet there is unity in diversity. So, you know, some sort of grand vision you give in your conclusion. I'll discuss some points about essays. So, this is a question paper of last year. So, here you can see that farming has lost the ability to be a source of subsistence for majority of farmers in India. So, coming to the end, I hope that using all these suggestions of mine, you will be able to score better and very good marks in your essays. I would like to conclude my lecture by pointing out that an essay is like a nicely prepared dish or a platter. So there are various, you know, Marwadi thali, you must have seen that there are various components. There is dahi, there is kheer, there is dahi vada, there is dal, there is sabzi. So there are numerous things and they are arranged in such a manner, but the overall thali is very pleasant to look, pleasant to eat. So similar is your essay, that you are given a topic, you brainstorm it from various fields, but you articulate and build it in a manner, you weave a essay around that topic in a manner that is very aesthetic to read it, and is very nice to read it, as well as it is full of content and it is presented in a very nice manner, articulated in a very nice gradual manner, thus fetching you very good marks. So I hope you all will score very good. Thank you.